As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be
Oh man, it's 8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a...
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody, for whoever wants to listen. I am your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Skeetly McGeetly. What's up, dude?
Is that a new one from the fans, or
That
did you
was
think
just
of that
me.
one?
That's new. That's an original OG, never been said, because I've never said Skeetly in my life.
All right. What, you've never said Skeetly in your life?
No. Why would I?
Reference to me?
And I
Seems
don't
like
think
a word that you would probably use.
Skeetly?
Yeah.
No.
How you feeling tonight? Kind of Skeetly? Rather Skeetly tonight.
What is Skeetly? What is
You
Skeetly?
don't want to know.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's just an answer. That's just, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, then what's your point?
I don't know.
Welcome back to the
Yeah, right?
show. We are here to talk about OC. So sorry for that. I don't know what that was.
yeah,
I
I'm
thought
not
it
really
was a
sure what
good
that was
name.
either.
I just needed props for being original again, and you took it down a weird
Just
path.
catching up, you know?
Well, it
catching
has
up with
I
my
feel like
bro.
We haven't been in here in a while in the studio, bro. Like last week.
Wednesday?
Yeah, but if this is the sad part about our relationship now, some people would be like, "Oh, that's really nice because he's like your best friend and you guys get because I see you so much, arguably too much. If like 6 days goes by and I haven't seen you, I'm like, man, it's been a while.
Been a while.
Been a while since I saw my buddy Skeetly.
It's a really good point, but we needed to get back together to talk a little OC and just continue to talk about what we've been talking about for 3 weeks now. That's going to sound like a complaint. I am complaining about that facet of it, but the rest of the show is fine.
It's good.
I'm good with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
There's enough else going on. There's enough storylines. There's a main thing going on that we are getting very tired of talking about. Steele probably more than me,
Yes,
and the rest of it is fine. So still
agreed.
enjoying.
I'm enjoying it as well, and that's saying a lot considering the horrible job they're doing in handling this substance abuse problem regarding Shannon and Alexis and Tamra, and we will discuss that more. Here's the thing, and if it's getting old to our listeners, I apologize. It is not within me to not talk about it emphatically because it does hit so close to home. The rest of this will be fun and games. You know, little Gina Emily squabble is a good time. That's funny. I'm here for that. The rest of it's a good time. I'm down. Even Ryan, douchebag Ed Hardy fucking Ryan had a decent episode. Like, he's even climbing the ladder a little bit. And Tamra and Alexis continue to sink this ship. But overall, it's still a good season. It's a good show. I'm liking what most of them are bringing to the table. Watching Gina try to claw her way out of this massive hole that she's dug has been delightful by her not knowing how to play the game.
It is really funny, and you can see her breaking down in real time because she has no idea what she's set off. She doesn't know how to handle it. She doesn't know how to get back. It's just raw emotion, and it's really funny to watch because we watched her dig her own hole.
Yep.
And she didn't realize she was digging a hole.
Nope.
It's the best.
She doesn't think about the contingency plan. And when she's on the pickleball court, and obviously we'll talk about it again later, but the moment where she goes, she's mad at me, she's mad at me, she's mad at me, Travis is mad at me, and throws the racket like wanting sympathy. I'm like, Gina, I like you. I don't have any problems with Gina, honestly. She's like, whatever. You caused all of those problems. So it's not a moment where you're like, everything's raining down on me right now. I just need support. It's like, I get it. You need a hand. You need some help here. You did all of this. This is your own doing.
And watching her actually break down gives us more insight as to where she stands because we've been speculating a lot on was some of this a plan or none of this a plan. I still think none of this was a plan for her. I still am fully in the court of her plan this season was to talk about how Jen wasn't paying her rent.
Yeah.
And that was going to just see her through to the other side and she was just going to be able to bop around, have some conversations here and there and just, cash her check. I think that this has given us more insight as to where she is with Heather. Why she's groveling a little bit and realizing that she has to do that. Why she realizes that this is going to put a wedge in her relationship with Emily and things like that. So all of this just seems like she's lost.
I think this is all Travis centric.
It has to be. Yeah. I mean, her mind is in 50 different places to the point where she's building a bunk bed room for the kids,
Mhm.
but didn't realize that she would have to displace them so that they can't sleep in their room. So they're all sleeping in her room.
Agreed. She didn't think that part through. But I will say, hats off to her. She's taking the couch, the kids
Oh,
take the
yeah.
room, like she's handling it well. And I just feel like every step of the way, she hasn't addressed the Travis of it all. So even in that moment where she's like, the house is in shambles because it's getting renovated, and she's looking at the room, and she even says then, she's like, wow, it's kind of like I'm erasing Travis's memory from the house. I don't think she understands the impact that whole thing had on her. I think it's weighing on her. I think that is coming out in all of her other relationships. She's not sure how to handle it, so she's taking out on other people. She's looking for different outlets, different avenues, and that's why we're seeing this chaotic mess of a season, because she wanted to come in, like you said, with the Jen stuff. Found out very quickly that's not going to last very
We
long.
haven't talked about
Yeah.
it created a chain reaction of Emily being mean to Jen about wearing her Rolex and not
Yeah.
selling it. But now it's over towards Emily. Nobody's talking about how Gina brought this up in the first place.
No.
So you haven't done anything, and that really fell flat.
Arguably,
honestly.
you made it worse for your friend Emily.
Yes.
Because she's catching more shit online about how she's talking to Jen than Jen is about being broke.
Yep.
Because most people are saying, well, she's with Ryan now, at
And
least.
I'm confused because it was sort of just a throwaway scene talking about the bunk bed thing, but I'm gonna go a little deeper on it right now because we're not gonna even talk about it during the course of the episode. I'm confused. Wasn't Travis's kids also living there?
Yes. Oh, where's the other room?
Where's the other room?
That's a good
There's
point.
gotta be another room or two, I would imagine.
Maybe she's doing more renovations. Yeah, I think this
All
is a
at
big
once?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah?
If you're going to reno, then you knock that shit out all at once. You know why the upstairs bathroom's not renovated at my house?
Why?
Because we didn't do it when we were renovating the rest, and we're like, we'll do it later. You don't do it later. We'll probably do it in like 10
Okay.
years.
All right, and then second tier of that question, wouldn't you just pose this as a, hey kids, real fun time, we're going to build a camp or something downstairs in the living room or the basement, you guys can stay down here, and I still get my room. That's what I would do.
That's a
Yeah.
glimpse into Shooter as a
Yeah,
parent. You guys
we're going to put a tent up.
You can stay
We're
in
gonna
the
throw some pillows
basement?
everywhere. You can sleep in the basement. This
Is
is
it
going
a
to be so
finished
fun.
basement?
It's like a sleepover every night. Yeah, it's a finished basement.
I need to clarify. I don't
No,
know.
it's an unfinished dungeon of a basement. Concrete slabs only.
You're saying kick the kids out. You guys can stay downstairs in a campground. Now your first floor's like
Yeah, you know what? Pitch a
Hooverville
tent, stay outside.
outside.
Yeah, stay outside.
Like here's a little insight into Shooter as a dad. Just go outside
Seems reasonable.
so I can keep my bed. I'm comfortable. You kids go sit
Yeah,
outside.
I worked hard for this bedroom.
When you get your own jobs, you can have a bed. Until
Wrong with
then,
that?
to the basement with you. Hopefully it's finished. But let's get to the episode itself. It's not a ton to talk about, but where am I? And much to my chagrin, the first half of this episode is once again split scenes and two different trips and difficult to take notes on. Thank God they got away from it like halfway through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to split my journal down the middle and go back and forth. It's very confusing. Okay, everybody out there, I need some support here for everything I do.
You get support by way of me recognizing that it's tough for you.
You do. I appreciate that, actually. Yeah, you do. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I pointed out.
Thank you. That's really nice. But in Big Bear, we got the Heather versus Katie scenario, and Alexis brings it up and saying that she wants things to be smooth between those two because she's friends with Heather. I don't understand, and this is a deeper question here. Is Alexis that close with everybody? Like, was there relationships off screen? Heather has said, like, Alexis is a friend of mine. But why is she invested in Katie's relationship with Heather?
For the show?
Just for the
I
keep
think
the
it's for
peace
the
kind of
show.
thing?
And look, I'm thankful for it.
I don't mind
'cause
that
this
part,
is
I
the
guess.
first time that I've seen Alexis talk about anything but Shannon and Johnny Jack.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only thing here that I'm really pointing to. I was even surprised. My jaw kind of dropped when she started talking about something else. Like, oh,
Wait, what?
you can do other things? She's still, I think, probably the biggest flop I've ever seen. She's now surpassed Anne Marie,
Oh, wow.
by the way. She is awful.
She's
I can't
terrible.
stand her.
Here's the thing. Counterpoint.
hmm
I don't think it's as bad as Anne Marie, and here's why. With Anne Marie's nonsense, there wasn't even anything to talk about. Like, we had nothing to really discuss when she had her weird scenes. We just be like, this
Yeah.
is brutal. Get the fuck out of here. Alexis is horrible. I don't like her. I don't think she needs to come back. I do think she's a flop. I think she needs to be a return one and done. But because of the ridiculous amount of drama that she's bringing, forcibly so, and it's disgusting, and her approach is terrible, and I don't appreciate it, she is giving us way more to discuss in a terrible way. I wish she would stop doing this so I didn't have things to talk about. That being said, Anne-Marie's biggest contribute. Wow.
Contribute.
Contribute.
Yeah.
What is that?
Contribute day.
Contribute. I did it again. Contribution. Good Lord. I'm not even
Contributation.
tired today. What is that? That's alarming. That can't be good.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
my point. Wait.
Oh, wait, you had a point?
Her big. I wasn't stopping
This
it.
is ending somewhere?
I can't even remember the word I made up. Contribute. That's what it was. Her biggest contribution to the show was the esophagus thing, and that was done quickly, and then she kept bringing it back up. We didn't even talk about it at a certain point. With Alexis, we're still talking about her, so I think that she's done more for her show than Anne-Marie did. She didn't do
Fair.
a fucking thing.
They're both one-dimensional,
Agreed.
and Alexis is pissing me off more.
Fair.
I would also counter by saying, even if Alexis wasn't on the screen, Tamara would still Tamara, so we'd still be talking about Shannon's issues.
Valid. Okay.
Either way, maybe even angrier, honestly, because at least Alexis, we don't have to take her seriously.
At
We can
all.
laugh at her sometimes.
Most of the time.
If it's Tamara leading the charge on this, which in some ways she is leading the charge on this, that would really piss us off the entire time.
That's fair. Okay. Here's the thing. They both suck. Anne-Marie and
point.
yeah, they can both kick rocks and never come back. But anyway, let's get back to La Quinta. And it's very awkward between Emily and Gina, which I love. Weirdly, I don't know why. It's probably because I know they're going to be okay.
Yeah, it seems real. It's like a real friend quarrel.
Yeah, and you can feel the tension when they're sitting at the table, and you're just kind of like, ugh, this has to be uncomfortable
Yeah.
over something so dumb, also, which is so fucking funny. But Shannon brings up Johnny J, Johnny Jan, Jan, Doucheman, and the $75,000. And the group, I'm glad that they spoke up. And this is what I like about Orange County, other than some of the other shows. They will have the awkward conversations in the group and not do it in a way to try to escalate things at
Yeah.
times. Like here, they all speak up and they say, hey, can you see how the optics of this don't look great? You were telling us one thing your entire relationship. You're paying for him, this and that. Now we find out that you owe him $75,000. And it's not that we don't believe that you paid for things. It's not that we don't believe that he ran up your tab. This seems like an attempt to reimburse you with the $75,000 a year or two ago, whenever it was, and you didn't tell anybody about it. That's alarming. Do you understand where we're coming from? That I liked, because that's not trying to drag her, but it's also saying,
Yeah.
hey, some things aren't totally adding up. Can you clarify?
It's sort of fan service, honestly.
Yeah.
Because those are the questions that we have. And
Right.
typically when we watch these shows, we're yelling at our TV, ask her this, ask her this. Go forward a little bit more. Stop yelling over each other and just ask questions.
Right.
So we actually got that, and it's sort of surprising to even see that. But no, I do appreciate that, and I appreciate a few of the people on this show. I would say the only other person, at least on the other side, over at Big Bear, would be Jen.
Jen's doing well
Jen's
this
doing
season.
really well. I
Yeah.
think she's kept a cool head in spite of being broke, apparently,
Yeah, well,
and having a douchebag of a boyfriend and all those other things. But I would say, for the most part, this cast seems to get it,
yeah,
and that's refreshing.
agreed.
And they didn't get it last year.
No,
So
not
they
at
had a
all.
quick turnaround on this one.
No, and Jen, I think Jen's having a solid year. I like that she's not swayed by the group she's with,
Yeah.
because she's with Tamara, she's with Alexis. They're spewing hate about Shannon, obviously. She's not moving. She's also not going after them. She's more trying to find that middle ground. Like, hey, do you see how this could be too
Yeah.
much, guys? Like, can we tone it back a little bit and try to figure this out? She's doing well, especially since Gina tried to throw her off early on with the whole broke thing at the coffee shop. So I appreciate what she's
She had
doing.
trial by fire last year with Tamara gunning for her the whole time,
Yeah, so-
acting like she didn't bring her on the show just to gun for her.
She's well seasoned.
Yeah,
now.
she got well seasoned very quickly.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're doing the whole cast, or the majority of the cast is doing a good job. But back to La Quinta again, and the group's saying, why don't you just settle, offer him something, let's move on from this, get him the fuck out of your life. I also appreciate Shannon saying, I don't want to fucking do that. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to have a constant financial reminder of my horrible relationship with this mooch. And the tears that we see from Shannon in this scene and from the group as a whole and the emotion in this scene, I liked it because it was very real. This was all real as shit. I was like, damn, she's going through it. At least she has a good, solid group of people around her to help her get through this, and her drinking shit. Like, she has a lot going on, and she's handled it very well up until this point, especially with Alexis and Tamara barking at her. So it was really nice to see this group of women, one, question her and say, hey, clear some things up for us. And two, okay, now that you've talked, we got you, girl. There's a hug. Love you. Let's cry. Have it out.
Yeah, I mean, after the beginning of this episode, I changed my tune after last week saying I was a little hesitant to be excited after watching the group split and go to different locations. This was necessary.
It was.
Because I feel for Shannon because of all the reasons that you just said, where she's going through so much. But I also think that she doesn't feel like it's a safe space to talk about these things.
Right.
That's why she broke down, because the girls were actually asking her questions that mattered and asking about her psyche, giving her options, saying, we've got your back, just do this and just move on. Get this dude out of your life. We don't want him here anymore. You don't want him here anymore. You can move forward. And I feel like she finally realized, okay, I can talk about this. Like, this is how I've been feeling for weeks. But you've got Alexis over here just constantly bringing up my ex and threatening me. You've got Tamara over there bringing up my drinking. Like, she doesn't feel like it's a safe space. The only person who's gone to bat for her was Vicky, who's not even a housewife on the show right now. So it's really tough for her, I'm sure, filming with all these people all the time and not feeling like you can talk about anything going on in your life because either you're afraid, you're going through too much, you don't want to release too much information, or you feel like somebody's just not going to have your back. So I think that was nice.
Yeah, see, it's the first split trip we've had where I
Seems
agree.
successful,
I'm like, this
yeah.
was a solid.
No, I don't give a
successful
shit what's
trip.
going on over at Big Bear,
Big
to
Bear
be honest.
can go fuck itself.
Yeah,
I, don't
I didn't
care.
need to see
Yeah.
any of that.
None.
Nor did I need to see last week's recap
Of the foot.
of the foot thing.
God damn
You
it.
know it happens. You can just reference it. You don't need to show it to
No.
us again. I
was-
don't want to see it.
Watching it with Dev, and both of us audibly went, ugh, come on. Why?
I don't
get
know.
it. Tamara's wacky. She ate pie off of Jen's foot after trying to force an OnlyFans. Stop. We don't need to see it again. We synced it once.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's as many times as I need to sync it. All right.
Synced it.
God damn it. But speaking of, we're back at Big Bear. Jen's going through her family stuff, and she wants to sit down with her ex Will and the new lady Laura, who is a friend of her. This is interesting.
This is a weird dynamic.
I know,
Yeah.
and I wish we'd heard about this before.
It's been 3
So-
years, so we didn't hear about this at all last year.
No, Laura is her friend, her ex-friend. I don't know where they stand now. / interior designer.
Mhm.
She saw her at a school pickup line. Was that right?
Yep.
And found out that they were dating and just fucking went off on her, I guess. This is a crazy dynamic that maybe we didn't need it last year. Maybe because she was so under fire, like we needed her to kind of get her sea legs under
Yeah.
and then bring it up this year.
Idea.
Okay.
Drop Alexis and bring Laura on the show. Could
Ooh.
end your relationship
Ooh.
as friends. Maybe throw a little steamy, spicy action in there with the ex involved. could
I
be
don't
fun.
know. It could be fun, but
I'm in.
that toys with rule number 1 around here is leave the kids out of it. I don't want the kids to be collateral damage because we want to see this weird dynamic between the stepmom, the dad, mom.
Well, you know what they say about rules.
They're meant to be broken. What the fuck? Sick, bro. But anyway. But Jen gets emotional, and after seeing the Instagram post that they made, Tamara shows her and says, well, he doesn't block me, so let me show you what they were doing the other night at family night.
Good call, Tamara.
Which is got to be tough to see, especially because she recognizes a guy in Will that she never had. She's like, this is like a big, loud, good personality. He was never like that with me. Tough to see. At the same time, you see your kids thriving, so hopefully there's some joy there. But in trying to comfort her, Tamara then spins it and starts talking about Sophia, who we know has asked to not be on the show, not be discussed on the show, not be posted on social media, and yet you continue to bring her up and you steal the thunder from Jen to take advantage of this moment to talk about your own daughter and lack of relationship with her. And look, I'm not heartless. That does have to suck. That's got to be extremely difficult. And in the right light and in the right way to bring it up, would probably land and probably work with the audience so that we can be like, hey, that's tough. Let's talk about it. But instead, you shoehorn it in whenever you can to try to garner sympathy because maybe you've, I don't know, figured out that you're being an asshole to everybody this season once again. So now you're trying to play a little bit of defense or damage control. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know I almost threw up. Not in my mouth. I almost projectile vomited.
Yeah?
When Alexis scoops her up in a hug and gives a bullshit prayer. Lord, please just look over. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if you're religious. We talked about this before. Whatever you believe in that. That's fine. Do you, boo-boo. If you're a giant piece of shit on TV constantly and then you want to play the God card for your friend who's also a giant piece of shit, that belittles every religion across the world. Because you're just being a piece of shit and then going, God, forgive me for just look over my friend. No, you can't be a dick and then pray and think that it's cool. I hate that.
Yeah, no, she definitely took advantage of that one. I took Tamara talking about her daughter a little differently.
Okay, go on.
I think she's almost throwing it out at this point. Like, you know what? I'm not going to have a relationship with my daughter anymore, so I'm just going to talk about it.
Oh,
Why not?
Okay.
I'm okay with that. It's
Yeah.
her life. I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me none. If you want to talk about it and give us more perspective on the dynamic, obviously it's coming from Tamara, so take it with a grain of salt. But still, at least she's doing more and talking about more and not just talking about other people's shit.
Okay.
Like, yes, she is trying to garner sympathy,
100%.
which we're not going to give her.
Nope.
So if you peel that layer off immediately because we're not giving you the sympathy, we get to look a little closer at things. And maybe we can catch you in a lie again.
Yeah, talk to Ryan Stoneman. He'll give you sympathy.
Yeah.
Ryan, I hope you would, like, look, I know we don't see eye to eye, but you got to at least appreciate you get a shout out every week now.
Yeah. Good for you, Ryan. You made
He's a
it,
good
bud.
sport. He's a good sport. I will say that. He always like sends laughing emojis when we talk shit about Tamara. So he plays along, and I appreciate that. Ryan, keep doing you. But we get to pickleball with Gina and Emily, and I was so excited for this scene because the tension, again, palpable. You can feel it, that things aren't good. And, you know,
At least they're playing pickleball together.
they are. And this is
See,
why.
that's like a true friendship.
that's
You're
why
pissed at each other, but you're still able to go and play some pickleball.
Yes, this is why I was excited for the drama between these two because I knew they would find their way back and it wouldn't take that long, but you'd get either a funny conversation or an entertaining conversation out of it, which we did because they start getting into it. Emily doesn't want to. She's like, hey, can we talk? She's
First
like,
off-
no.
First off, Gina commenting on Emily going to the gym a bunch and not equating that to athleticism, while Gina is also missing the ball,
Oh, yeah.
not hitting the ball, and not chasing balls down.
No.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah,
Don't go after her.
that's not fair.
That was one of the worst athletic performances by a duo I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we are very, very stringent on when we watch athleticism on these shows, across all shows. It can be Southern Charm, it can be a housewife show. We love watching Bravo Lebs perform athletic feats to see where they stand.
Feats, yeah.
They are feats at certain points
Feats
because
low?
yes, because you're like, wow, that's such a feat to be able to have a lob shot
Yeah, that's fair.
that's going to hit your racket if you don't move it, and yet you still miss it.
Yep.
That's a feat of athleticism.
Lob shot, look at you.
I played tennis like most
I'm just
of my
saying,
life.
look at you.
Okay, cool. Well, I would whip your ass in
Rafa
tennis,
Nadal.
by the way.
I'll just put it out of reach of your hips. You'll be fine.
Oh no, you know me. Once I'm moving, I'm good to go. It's when the game ends.
After, yeah.
As soon as it's
You
over.
don't have that like second thought, like maybe I shouldn't cut this way
no,
because then I'll feel like shit
I
later.
don't have it.
Oh,
That's the
so
problem.
then I'd just be hurting you.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine later. And playing baseball has helped. By the way, no big deal. Won the championship this weekend. Not a big deal. Everyone stop asking about it. Okay? It's not a big deal. Let's get back.
Baseball.
Let's get back to the episode. They start talking about it, and I'm glad that Emily calls her out with the Katie stuff and the Heather stuff. She's like, you know what? You say I love Katie, but the minute after Heather has a problem with her, or the minute after she brings something up to Heather, which you, Gina, by the way, once again, you're the one that said, Katie, you tell her I'm going to. Again, Tamara's the one that ended up telling her, but Katie was going to because you told her to. Then they go back and forth in what might go down as one of my favorite arguments ever. Who is up whose ass further? Is Emily up Tamara's ass further, or is Gina up Heather's ass further?
Gina's up Heather's ass further.
1000% yes.
It's not even debatable.
No, Emily is up Tamara's ass.
Yeah.
But I think she's still retrievable. Gina is Is that bad?
I don't know about that. I didn't like that one at all.
Is that bad?
I don't know why. I just thought of like a golf ball retrieval.
God. I think Emily will have an easier time defending herself than Gina will.
Okay.
How about that?
I'll take that one.
I could also see Emily disbanding her relationship with Tamara if she takes too much shit. I think that she has a stronger backbone than Gina does with Heather. How about that?
Okay. Better.
So
Better analysis.
Gina is harder to retrieve.
Yep. Not going to say another word.
Ugh. Anywho, this is where we get that amazing freak out. But before we get there, I do have a question for you because Dev and I were split on this one. When Emily says, I have a weapon I haven't even used, is she referring to her pickleball paddle and making a joke, or is she saying, I've got a bomb to drop that has not been dropped yet?
I took it as a bomb to drop.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Dev thought it was physically the
First
paddle.
off, let me say thank you for bringing me into your marital dispute.
This is what we argue about.
Oh, yeah, I know.
People are like, do you guys argue? I'm like,
I-
yeah, but about Bravo.
I took it fully as she has information now. Bomb can be used very loosely because I don't think that it's going to be that damning, whatever it is. It's probably just more evidence that Heather had that photo shoot planned. I've got a text message. From who? I
Yes.
can't tell you.
It just says yes
Just says
again.
yes. That's probably all she has. But I did take it as she has information, not the pickleball paddle.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Dev thought it was the actual paddle itself. But this is, yes, if you want to glimpse into our marriage, we don't actually have real arguments. We argue about like Bravo.
Yeah.
That's it. But the hilarity continues. Jesus, I can't.
Are you
talk.
okay?
I was going to say ensues, and then I got stuck on
continues.
Continues. And because Gina's locked out of the house that she is renting for the weekend or showing for the weekend, she can't find it, which was a good thing because that forces them to have one more conversation where it's like, all right, let's just hash this shit out. It hurts my feelings when you say these things, and I think that you think less of me, Gina. There's Emily talking to Gina, and Gina's like, look, I need you right now because Travis is really kicking the shit out of me. I got a lot going on. That's all the root of this whole entire thing was. Gina's got a whole lot going on. She's not translating things well. On the same page, Emily is not being great because she's hanging out with Tamara more, and she is being a little bit meaner than usual. All can be true, and I'm glad that these two found their way back to each other. It's when we have something like this that really boiled over last episode, and then when they resolve it the following episode,
And it's an actual resolution.
great.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I also love that the crux of the resolution was, well, we're not nearly as bad as Shannon and Tamara.
Right.
Right, guys? Like, yeah. No, you are right about that.
Correct.
But that is a great way to break the tension because Gina's breaking down. We all know why she's breaking down. We all know why she's completely aloof to all the things going on around her that she's causing. Fine. But Emily, on the other end, being the mean kid, I'm taking it as a superior like complex almost, going to the gym a bunch, getting in shape, feeling better about yourself, but she's using that for evil. She's feeling better. She's got good currency towards herself, but she's using that currency towards evil.
See,
She needs to use that for the good.
I agreed, but this once again feels like this is personal. This is like you not liking gym people once again.
Oh, first off, no, I was going to make a comment earlier. Going to the gym does not equate to athleticism.
Agreed.
I think a lot of people, I know you can speak on this, a lot, not personally. I meant like
No,
as a
I know.
trainer.
You're good.
A lot of people do think that. I can lift weights. I can go for a run. You can't catch a ball.
No,
They
that's
hit you right in the face.
Yes.
So that's one of those things. But
fitness level does not mean athleticism.
correct. And I just think that Emily bettering herself, it's good for the show if she uses it for evil. But I'm just saying, be a little nicer to your friends.
But I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do think that she gets on that pedestal a little bit, but I also think that she's aware of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because of her conversation with what's her husband's name? Shane. When she said, I think I'm going too much, blah, blah, blah. I think that she is aware of her, but I also think that, she's feeling good. So
Yeah, it's an adjustment.
yeah, she'll get there.
She'll be okay.
She'll be fine.
I trust that Emily will be back to good form.
Yeah, I agree too. But especially now that they've called each other out, that's what I like about those two.
Yeah.
They've called it out. They will make changes. They might not get better. They might make changes for the worst, but they will change.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But we're back at Big Bear once again. This is my point. This is a tough episode for me. Back, forth. Here we go. But now we get Katie and Alexis once again about the Heather shit and wanting Katie to be able to move forward with Heather. As we all know, that is not up to Katie. that is up to Heather Dubrow.
Mhm.
If she wants to move forward, Katie's going to have to more or less grovel a little bit. Hey, I want to be friends with you. And Heather's going to be like, I can hear it now. We'll see. I just don't know if I can trust it. We'll see where this
You just
goes.
have to give it time. You have to have the same conversation probably 3 or 4 times by the beginning of next season or even the end of this season, maybe the reunion.
Yep.
You'll be fine.
Agreed. You just have to, you got to
can't keep
admit fault.
poking.
You got to
Yeah.
admit fault
Uh-huh.
and then keep apologizing.
Yep.
And then it'll work. But if that's not
You
you,
blame somebody else.
blame somebody else. But here's the other thing that's working in Katie's favor because she didn't come on strong.
Yeah.
She whiffed out of the gate. She settled down a little bit. And because Alexis is such a train wreck, Katie's coming out looking better because
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about her a little bit in a good way where it's like, oh, yeah, she's still there. And I
She
don't have
took
a
back
problem
seat
with
for a
it.
little while. Yeah.
Which she should have done out of the gate. She came out way too strong.
Mhm.
You went after the wrong person. You should have just sat back. Now she's kind of settling in. I don't have any issues with her right now. I think she's playing the game correctly. Finally. Is it too little too late? We'll see how the rest of the season goes. But Jen and Tamra have their heart to heart, and Jen's just, I'm so happy with where we are now, Tamra. We found our way back to each other. It's so exciting. So happy. And this is the difference between Jen last year and Jen this year. And this is why I really like Jen this year, because her and Tamra are cool, which, as we know, she was brought on the show last year, so Tamra could try to take her down. Anybody that disagrees, you're just not watching the same show. They had a falling out. They found their way back to each other. What I don't like about a lot of Bravo shows, when we see rekindled friendships, they tend to fall right back into the same routine, the same patterns. Not this time, because Jen then says, hey, I've been seeing what's been going on with Shannon. And even says, the way you attack her, and now Tamara has to go on the defense. I'm like, oh, I like that you're calling her out. You're not giving her an out either. You're trying to understand where she's coming from. And she says, look, you owe her a hard, if you want to do the tough love thing, that's your prerogative. You owe her that hard conversation lovingly, one-on-one. The way you're going about things, not great. Of course, Tamara defends herself and says, hey, you don't get me. I'm not even going to fucking repeat it. But I like that Jen has changed her approach with her, like her newfound friendship. It's not the same bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like she's playing offense a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's key to being friends with Tamara, honestly, weirdly enough. Keep her on her toes and make sure that she's playing defense the whole time because she won't have time to go after you for anything. I also think that Jen is making a smart business decision here, not talking about her personal life as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, we do get her feelings on what's going on with Will, but that's something that a lot of the women on the show can commiserate with.
Sure.
A lot of the women in Bravo can commiserate with. So that's nothing abnormal. It's not something specific that is only good for or only adheres to you. So she's not sharing and she's not oversharing things going on in her life that Tamara can then poke at or hold in her back pocket and then bring it up later and try to twist it in a different way. And she's playing offense on Tamara by calling her out on things like this because we need somebody that's going to do it.
Yep.
Somebody has to do it. And Emily's too far up Tamara's ass, although you say she's retrievable. We'll see. The rest of the crew is either in their own mind, Heather just kind of doing her own thing in her own little world. And then the rest of the crew is really just afraid of Tamara.
Yeah.
So we need somebody that's going to actually put her on the defensive and force her to have conversations with Shannon, force her to actually look inward, even though I don't think she is, to try to figure out what the hell's going on and what the root of this problem is. Because I'm so tired of Tamara saying, even when she says it in this scene that you glossed over because you don't want to talk about it, when she sits there and says, it wouldn't be good for me to go do that. It's not good for me to go talk to Shannon. Like, who cares about you?
Nobody.
That's not a good friend. You've
Not at
never been a
all.
good friend to her. So don't play it up like you were a good friend for her and she betrayed your trust. She's going through her own personal shit. It has nothing to do with you. You're making it about yourself, and that's what Tamara always does. So somebody needs to lend a hand to show perspective to Tamara in this case, and I guess it's Jen. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah, I've liked it so far, and I liked how she approached this episode a lot. So hopefully it does continue. But we get a spontaneous, out of nowhere, John Jansen calls Alexis out of left field, and you know what?
She definitely texted him and said, "Call me now. We're leaving.
Duh,
Cameras are still here."
Yeah. But
You
hey,
want to do it, babe? Do you want to do it? You want to do it at the house still, or you want to do it in the car? Well, it's going to be really tough. People might hear what you're saying on the phone in the car, so let's do it at the house so I can lay down in the bed afterwards and cry.
yeah, so I can sob. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. I'm so sick of Shannon, and I'm not at liberty to discuss, but we have the footage, and it would ruin her life. And then she lays down on the bed and sobs. Why? Why are you so invested in this? Why are you so concerned about John Jansen and Shannon's relationship? You just started dating this guy 3-4 months ago max because you guys found an angle to work to get you both back on Bravo because you're both so goddamn thirsty for attention. So now you're taking it a step further and having an emotional breakdown because you're so sick of all the bullshit from Shannon. Meanwhile, there's a $75,000 lawsuit coming Shannon's way from your piece of shit boyfriend that you're probably a part of somehow because you've already sued Shannon once. You have a track record. Put 2 and 2 together, it makes fucking 4. You're a horrible fucking person. This is a sociopathic emotional breakdown of you fake crying on the bed and sobbing. You look like a caricature. And I'm sick of it. I don't understand. It's crazy town. We're in banana land, and I don't want to be here anymore. I want off this fucking crazy ride.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you know what the content of that conversation was?
Nothing.
It was probably that Shannon's lawyer offered a settlement.
Oh, that probably was
In hindsight, after seeing the scene with Shannon and Tamara at the end, that's probably what it is because the timeline adds up.
That's a good
Earlier
point.
this week, my lawyer offered a settlement. That's probably what set Johnny J off. He called Alexis, bitched about that. Can you believe that she's offering me a settlement? She owes me $75,000. I'm going to take her ass to court.
I got to get a real job now?
Yeah.
I can't
No.
mooch off of my ex-girlfriend? What a weirdo.
In a nutshell, Alexis is crying on the bed, sobbing on the bed, saying that she's going to take the gloves off and she's going to release some video, which, by the way, we still haven't seen, so she didn't release the fucking video.
We'll talk about the videos in the next scene. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I'm not one to claim gunshot. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. Something dropped. But in a nutshell, Alexis is crying on the bed over her boyfriend of 3 months not getting his $75,000.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
all it is.
How embarrassing.
That is awful.
That is so embarrassing.
dumb.
How
What
can
a
you call yourself
loser.
a grown-up?
What
Like,
a loser.
both of them. Like, you are both such dorks. You know what? No, that's insulting to dorks. You're just fucking losers. Like,
Yeah, you know what, too? She drinks Red Bull in the morning.
of course she does. Yeah. Boo. Drink coffee like an adult.
Yeah.
What a loser.
God.
I hate it. I hate her. Anyway, we get to Tamara and Gina at Gina's, which is where we see the renovations and everything, and
The kids aren't in a fort in the basement.
they have a fort in their room. That bunk bed setup looks sick.
Oh, it looks like she's really going all out.
Yeah,
which
I appreciate that.
yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing. And I get it. I think that why I tend to like Gina is just because everything seems so like not end of the world. You know, I feel like a lot of the drama we talk about now these days with housewife shows is so serious.
Yeah.
With Gina, like, yes, she's got a lot going on. I don't want to take away from the Travis stuff by any means. But, you know, she's also on the flip side. She's coming up in the world a little bit. She's making a little extra money. She's doing well. She's got her career off and running. That's exciting. So we have like a little sad stuff, but you also get to see the happy stuff and her try to navigate between the two. And I don't know. It just seems less dark.
Yeah, it's definitely less dark in spite of what's going on in her life, which
Yeah.
could easily be very dark.
But she's handling
She's
it.
keeping it
okay.
light enough,
Yeah.
which seems normal
Yes.
almost.
Yeah, like
is
she's still put
kinda nice.
together like as an adult because she's like, yeah, shit's fucking nuts, but
Yeah.
I also have 3 kids and a job and a career to worry. I can't break down at every moment. I have to stay like somewhat level-headed.
Did you get that hat at Kona?
This was from Susie Q. Or was this from
It's from
Chris?
Kona. Look
Yeah,
inside.
no, I know it's from Kona.
Yeah.
There was
I just got a sweatshirt of that exact same thing.
I have a t-shirt of
hoodie.
this exact same
Yeah.
thing. It's a sick t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great
Shout out
minds.
Kona.
Great minds. think
Wildwood, New
alike.
Jersey, baby.
Wow, wow, days.
No, I think it's refreshing just to see because any housewife, most of the housewives, especially somebody who's, I would say, in Gina's position where she's, I don't even want to call her middle of the pack for this. She's towards the bottom because she
Yeah, she's
doesn't
towards
really
the bottom.
bring it. She's funny to watch because she has no idea what she's doing and she is performing horribly, but it is funny and entertaining.
Yeah, it's working somehow.
Any other housewife in her position, I feel like would be chomping at the bit to have what's going on in her personal life for the show.
Oh, to over dramatize it for sure.
Yep. have to over dramatize it, have to get as much sympathy as possible, have to make it your number one storyline. It almost seems like for the sake of the kids, for the sake of her own personal life, she's holding a lot of that back,
Yeah.
which is, again, normal and refreshing to see.
She should have a conversation about it to get it out
Sure.
emotionally.
I feel like we saw enough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to.
Yes,
You
yeah.
can dig a little deeper if
Yeah.
you're comfortable with doing that with an actual friend, not
Right.
like Tamara. That would be horrible. But sit down with Emily and you can have a little update here and there. That would be great by me. It's just nice to see. And look, I don't dislike Gina by any means. I don't really like her that much. She's definitely not my favorite, but she's fine.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine, and I think she's handling herself well.
Yeah.
And also just so goddamn clumsy with how she moves. It's very entertaining.
Correct.
Period. But we get to Tamara and Gina again, and or no, skip that. But Tamara and Gina are talking about the trip, they're recapping everything. And I know that we read far into things, especially when it comes to Tamara, just because I really don't like her because she seems like a bad person.
Yep.
But this to me tells me how she feels about Alexis. So all the stuff that we see, the one-on-ones with her and the buddy shit, I'm like, I don't buy it because the minute you get to Gina, she's like, Alexis doesn't shut the fuck up.
Mhm.
All she does is talk. It's so annoying. And
Well,
blah,
we
blah,
said this
blah.
last week.
I know.
We said that eventually people are just going to turn on her, and I hope it happens after this weekend where she won't shut the hell up about Johnny J.
Agreed. But they get into the Shannon stuff inevitably, and Gina, I again like that crew from La Quinta because she's not changing the story.
Yeah.
She tells Tamara's like, look, Gina said she was good. She seems really great. She seems like she's working on her stuff. You know, when I had my DUI, I didn't stop drinking either until I saw and like noticed I had a drinking problem. I think she cut back a little bit and now she drinks again. But that all came from Tamara saying, yeah, but you didn't have a drinking problem.
Yep.
And Gina, I love that Gina goes, yes, I did. I addressed it and moved on from it, but I 100% at a certain point realized that I did have a drinking problem. So I stepped back, reevaluated, fixed my life. I started drinking again safely. Things have been fine. We're good. So I'm glad that she showed support there for Shannon and saying, does she have a problem with alcohol? Yes, probably. Does that mean that she can never drink again? I don't know, because that's not for us to say. Here's my journey with it. I stopped, started again because I was comfortable. Things have been fine, but I recognized in myself that I have a drinking problem. What that tells Tamara, what that tells anybody, you don't know. Because you, Tamara, said that me, Gina, did not have a drinking problem. You didn't fucking know I did. How about that? So for you to sit there and point at Shannon and say that you know what's going on with her and what's best for her, you have no fucking clue. Because it's not for anybody to say but the individual going through it. That's the whole fucking point of trying to find your relationship with alcohol. Does it help to have outside sources? Yes, because you can talk to people and try to work out where you stand. Not somebody pointing at you and going, alcoholic, drunk, piece of shit. That does nothing but push us towards the bottle. So, Gina, once again, kudos to you.
Kudos to you.
Well handled there.
No, I think it was really well handled, and you hit the nail on the head. The fact that she didn't change it up, coming from La Quinta, going back to talk to Tamara, who was not there. How many times have we seen that in the past?
Oh, a
You're
lot.
talking to somebody else who you know what their motive is, you know what their demeanor is, what their feelings are on a certain situation that you just got clarity on from the person that is involved in all of this at a separate location. They come back and they change up the story. And then it's like, who are you fucking loyal to?
Right.
You're not loyal to yourself. You're not loyal to the person that was just talking. What are you doing? Like, this is still going to come out. We point this out all the time. There are cameras. We're going to see all of this. So that person's going to be pissed off to watch you change it up. You were giving her sympathy a week ago. This week, you're calling her an alcoholic.
Yep.
You're moving on. Like, I'm just happy that she was able to keep the story straight because she got a little more clarity, a little bit more specificity from Shannon on how she's feeling, what she's going through, what is happening around her, and how she feels about the Alexis thing. Coming to Tamara, I would have immediately thought, I'm going to bow down to Tamara and I'm just going to agree to everything that she did. She didn't. So we're seeing a bit of a turn here, and I like it.
I do too. I agree with that. But Tamara's response to it is, it's the lying and the manipulating, and she needs tough love in this conversation because Heather's on her side now and you're on her side. And she's starting to get people, and she's going to be like, ooh, okay. She's like, now I can go back to my old ways. She's implying that Shannon is not being 100% on any of this. She's implying that she's moving a certain way to try to find a scapegoat for this thing, to garner support so that she doesn't have to address her problems. Now, from a recovery standpoint, substance abuse standpoint, Is it right to be skeptical of a newly sober person or somebody trying to figure out their relationship with alcohol? 100% yes. Is that okay? 100% yes as well. That's fine. How you react to something is how you react. It's not for me to say. Is there a way to go about it? Yes. How? Have a conversation. Don't automatically assume you know what's best and I need to tough love because she's trying to manipulate everybody. Because here's the thing. People can change. People do change. You have to give them the opportunity to prove that to you. And again, skepticism's fine. You can be skeptical and you can use tough love. Tough love is not berating them and calling them an alcoholic and telling them to go to rehab. That's not tough love. Tough love is asking tough questions to try to get to the bottom of it.
I do think that that's what Tamara thinks tough love is too.
It's just to scream
It's
horrible
just
things.
screaming horrible things. I need to put it into perspective how you make me feel.
Yes.
Again, not about you.
No.
But now I love that all of a sudden I'm willing to have a conversation with her. I just don't know how it'll go. Since when?
Since this moment right now, because she sees some weird opportunity. Something came about in this moment where she's like, I can use this.
I can use this. This could be a really good scene. People are going to want to watch this. They're going to hone in on this. Again, I do think that Tamara at this time was operating under the guise that the fans were going to support her.
Yeah, I think so
That
too.
they saw what Shannon did. They saw how she was behaving. And they immediately lashed out against her. And Tamara's like, okay, I'm going to cancel the Tres Amigas tour because that's going to make me look like a good friend who's worried about her. I'm going to go in attacking her and I'm going to try to set her straight. And everybody's going to support me.
Yep.
They're not. So I'm really hopeful because for my own entertainment, this would be great, that come reunion, which has not filmed yet, Tamara's going to realize nobody's on her side and she's going to have a huge change up and she's going to have this big apology where she's crying and breaking down and trying to reach Shannon and try to get back to her friendship because she realizes that the fans hate her right now.
Yes.
That's
and
going to happen.
the other side of this that makes me happy is the response from the fans.
Yeah.
Because that tells me that the approach to issues with substance abuse is shifting to where people can see this is not the way to go about it. This is wrong.
Yep.
And there's been a huge rally cry from the fan base to be like, hey, Tamara, shut the fuck up. This is not good. That gives me hope. And that makes me happy. So that's what I've taken from this rather than just be really mad at Tamara. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of support for Shannon. That's really cool.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
That's pretty. Hey, you know what? That's pretty cool. But we move on. We get Katie and Emily, and this is where we find out more about the videos. And obviously, this has been all over social media before this episode aired. And there's been a lot of discussion about some extra footage. And allegedly, there's a video of Shannon almost running over John Jansen's daughter. Now, the best thing that's said here comes from Emily. If they're so happy together, then just sail off into the sunset. Why are you bringing this up? Because here's the thing. If there is a video of that, that's terrible. That's awful. And guess what? Shannon knows what she did wrong. She's made that very apparent. When you're watching the emotional scenes with her, when she gets upset, it seems genuine.
Yep.
So all that this is going to do, the judge has already ruled. This has already gone through due process. There is nothing more you can bring to the table that will make it worse. She got a DUI.
Yep.
All this is going to do is further your vendetta against her to try to smear her for no reason. I don't understand why, other than your boyfriend has a stick up his ass about her because he feels slighted in some way because he's not in the limelight anymore. That's the only thing I can think of because all this video is going to do is push her closer to the edge. And what, again, gives me a lot of hope is Emily points that out. It feels like all of this is going to push her to the point of no return. That's what this will do. If you have to sit there and watch the worst night of your life and see that you did even more shitty stuff other than just run into a house, what do you think that's going to do? Do you think that's a moment where Shannon's going to be like, oh my God, I need to change? She's already trying to change. And all of you assholes keep trying to throw a wrench into it and fuck her up along the way to make yourselves look better. And that's my whole thing. And this is my rant for the day because this is all I could think about. And when Tamara starts going off on her at dinner, it's like, when Shannon was questioning her relationship with alcohol, I've seen you in compromising situations. Yeah, but did I drive my car into a house? Here's the stigma. This is what drives me fucking insane. This implies that people that don't have a substance abuse problem are better than people that do. And that's fucking insane. For you to sit there with all of your shortcomings, Tamara, with all of your shortcomings, Alexis, with both of your relationships with alcohol that we've seen on TV now, you both act like idiots. You both have problematic drinking. For you to sit there and point the finger at Shannon and say, I'm better than you because you drove into a house. I didn't do that. That doesn't make you a better person. Just because people struggle with substances doesn't make them bad fucking people. And they're trying to push this narrative of I'm better than because of this. And that's fucking insane. And in this moment, Shannon's trying to get to a better place and be a better person and be better for everybody and herself. And all you're doing is trying to throw her back down this fucking hole to prove a fucking point or to get 75 grand. Is that worth somebody's life? Is that worth derailing somebody working so hard to rectify a horrible scenario that they caused, that they're taking full accountability for? Tamara, what are you taking accountability for? Zero. You have excuses for everything you've ever done. It's not a problem because I have fun drinking. Alexis, what are you taking accountability for? Nothing. Your whole storyline and life is apparently about John fucking Jansen, and newsflash, no one fucking cares. Nobody likes this guy. Nobody ever has liked this guy. You're not going to vindicate this piece of shit because we don't give a shit. He could be holier than thou. Guess what? Fuck him. Don't care. So the fact that they can sit there and continuously try to not only drag Shannon for having a problem, but anybody that's ever struggled with anything, they're sitting there. These two idiots, Tamara and Alexis of all people, you're going to sit there and point a finger and say you're better than? Is that a fucking joke? Go watch your seasons. Alexis, just watch the last 5 episodes. You're a disaster. Tamara, watch your whole entire catalog. You're a fucking disaster. Leave Shannon alone. Let her try and heal for the love of God. And just thank the Lord we have a supportive cast on one side of this room at La Quinta, because I am genuinely scared of what Shannon may have done without that support. Whew. That felt good.
Shout out to La Quinta Queens.
Yeah, the La Quintas. That doesn't sound good.
No.
I don't like that. But yeah, shout out them. And yeah, I feel that that's been the root of it, I think.
Yeah, I think
is the better than.
I think that really all you need to know if you're on the fence of is Shannon actually trying to change or is she worried about what's going to happen and she's just worried about the public perception, go back to the scene where she's talking to her lawyer.
Yes.
When she's talking to her lawyer, she was upset that the lawyer said, if you go through all of this, you get to plead not guilty.
Yep.
She says, but I am guilty.
Yeah.
I did it. That means that she feels really bad.
Accountability.
She's taking accountability for her actions and she wants to move forward with her life and fix things. The fact that she's not giddy over, because you know what? You stick Tamara or Alexis in that situation, they would start clapping for themselves.
Ooh, I can get out of it.
I can get out of this. I can be not guilty and get this off my record. That's what they would do. Shannon is taking accountability for her actions.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to know.
That's it. And it's really fucking impressive, honestly. I actually appreciate how Shannon's going about things. I'm curious to see how her journey progresses, but we get to a quick scene with Jen and Ryan, and 2 things. One, I get straight up Louis vibes from Ryan, the way he talks to people, like the obsession with how he looks, his terrible wardrobe.
The terrible wardrobe, walking into that place and being the most
hey.
outgoing, nice guy that you've ever seen in
Do
your
you have
life.
an appointment for Ryan? Like,
God, he's like a fucking cartoon character. That is, that's a big takeaway for me. The other big takeaway, Jen's confessional.
Yep.
Maybe I should ask where he gets his money. Maybe you should.
You think? Guess what?
Not only because of what we know now, but also what the fuck, Jen?
You never work. You never work, but you have a lot of really nice shit.
You're always on your phone on this DraftKings app.
What is DraftKings? Who is
that?
Who's Shohei Ohtani, and why does he call you all the time? Never heard of him. Turn on ESPN.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking deal. But let's keep going. And we get a quick phone call between Tamara and Jen. Tamara's headed to meet Shannon and, claiming I just want the best for Shannon. I still have some animosity because she should have been reaching out to me.
That's insane.
That's bizarre. Why?
I have absolutely no idea. The last time that they had any sort of interaction that was longer than a hello was at that brunch.
You're
when
berating her.
you ripped her apart and said you want nothing to do with her.
Or dinner, but yeah.
That was a dinner?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was the brunch.
It doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Doesn't even matter. That was your last interaction with her. Why would she reach out to you? Like, what is this weird complex that you have that you feel like people need to bow down to you?
I don't know.
I just don't understand it. You think that you can just say all the most horrible shit under the sun, and at the end of the day, you still have this weird thing where you think you're friends
Owes
and
you something?
you want people that want to maintain your relationship by reaching out to you and bowing down? I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I don't understand it.
Tell you what, we wouldn't be friends if that's how you operated.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I'd kick you the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skeetly
Totally.
McGeetly.
Totally.
I can't think of anything that rhymes with that now. But let's keep going. No, don't do it.
I'm trying.
I know.
I can't do it. I got nothing. Bravos are out of here.
Yeah, no, I'll keep thinking on it though. But we get to Tamara and Shannon, and she reiterates to Shannon, I was hoping you'd reach out to me. And Shannon says what we're all thinking. After how you spoke to me, you've been defaming me. And here's the Tamara move. As soon as you question her behavior towards you, instantly she gets defensive.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down I didn't in like the SpongeBob meme where he's like, because she gets, I didn't say that. It's like, all right, dude, settle the fuck down. This is a conversation. You might not like what she has to say. She might not like what you have to say. Let's not immediately get immature about it and start being, I didn't do that. I didn't defame you. Like, just sit there and listen.
The Tamara move is to act like that, and then when Shannon slightly raises her voice,
Gaslight.
call her out on that
Yeah.
and gaslight the hell out of her. Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
So stupid.
And she just says to her, like, you're drunk and you need to be sober and X, Y, Z. You said all of these things to me. And she's like, look, I'm focused on being healthy right now. And this is what I loved from Shannon, because Tamara's like, oh, you don't have a drinking problem? She doesn't say, no, I don't. She said, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm working on it right now. And Tamara says, are you drinking now? She says, I don't have more than 2. I'm working on it. So far, has not been an issue. Tamara uses this moment to out her for sneaking a drink. Should Shannon be sneaking drinks? Absolutely not. 100% no. Dangerous game to play. It might be because she doesn't want people to notice because she's under the limelight right now. It might be that innocuous. However, that can lead to a lot more. If you get comfortable with sneaking it, one thing leads to another. Now we got a problem again. So no, that's not okay. Is it okay for Tamara to use this moment to call her out on it? No, absolutely not. Because now everybody knows. Instead of a friend being like, hey, off camera, I heard you've been sneaking drinks. Are you okay? That's not safe. I want you to be okay. No. I'm going to use a national platform to air out your shit in front of everybody to once again point out that you're a piece of shit alcoholic. All alcoholics are pieces of shits. I'm not an alcoholic. I've got my shit under control because I have fun. I break my foot while drinking, but that's not a problem because it was funny. You saw it. You guys.
That was a great moment.
Ha ha. You remember that? Bullshit. But that's when Shannon calls her out for her compromising stuff. And of course, Tamara being Tamara can't take the heat. Did I drive my car into a house? Low-hanging fruit.
Yep.
The lowest fruit in the world.
Well, it
last
just
thing.
goes to show you immediately that Tamara is not there to have an actual resolution conversation.
Or to like check on her friend and make
Not
sure
at
she's
all.
okay.
Like, she's only there for her own self-indulgent reasons.
Yep.
She just wants to get a couple of lines off and be the mean girl because that's what she thinks that she's supposed to do this season. Go after Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that she feels like shit and maybe that'll make her stop drinking. And then everybody can go back, even though Tamara was a terrible person, you can go back and point at Tamara and say, maybe she's the one who caused her to stop drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Good job, Tamara.
Because you yelled at her.
Because you yelled at her. No, this was just nothing. Like, we knew she didn't have good intentions going into this conversation. As soon as she said, I'm upset that she didn't reach out to me.
Yeah.
You're not checking on your friend. Why are you even there?
I don't know.
If that is your disposition going into the conversation, why are you even going?
No clue. But I am very proud of Shannon for getting up and walking away.
Yeah.
Don't engage with that. You're not going to win that conversation. Go cool off, take a deep breath. Don't let her see you get upset and worked up. Take a breather, go to the bathroom, collect yourself. What does Tamara do in that moment? What, is she having a drink?
Mm-hmm.
You can't help yourself. You're outing yourself all the time.
Yep.
You're showing that you're not there for the right reasons. You don't give a fuck. You probably hope she is drinking, so you're proven right.
Yep.
Rather than being concerned about your friend, you want her to look like shit, so you are correct. That sucks. What a shit person. What a shitty way to live your life. But Shannon comes back, and I like her pep talk. I am strong. I'm strong. And she says all the things that she needs to say. And I was, again, very proud of her in this moment. I'm digging myself out. And you're trying to push me back in. Yes, she is. You know what? The difference is, Shannon, just get the fuck away.
Yeah.
Just get away.
Yeah, you don't need Tamara as a friend.
No, there's no resolve here. If you recognize that somebody's willing to shove you down that hole, fucking run.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste your time and don't risk it. That's like my biggest issue with it. But again, I don't know what the fuck it is about Tamara and people's need to be cool with her. I don't get it. I don't know what she has, but even in this moment when she's not trying to play tit for tat. She's just telling you where she is. She says, I've never felt so supported in my life. I've got all of this great support. Tamara, oh, I didn't support you? I'm
No.
trying to talk to you. It's like, no, you yell. And now you're gaslighting her and saying that she's yelling. You're like, she literally does well, I'm not yelling, you're yelling. Like, why are you getting so upset? Like, literally, if you look up gaslight in textbooks, that's what it says.
Yep. With a picture of Tamara right next to her.
But she calls out Gina's dinner and everything going off the rails, and that Tamara's now backing up Alexis and about the money that you owe John Jansen. And then she breaks down again, and Shannon's like, he's suing me. He's suing me right now for this money. I offered him a settlement. I tried to fix this. I tried to make it go away, even though I don't owe this man anything. And he said he won't accept a penny. This petty fuck that just doesn't want to get a real job, wants to mooch off of women.
He needs to repair his boat.
He needs to repair that boat. I won't accept a penny. And if you don't pay me, I'm filing on Friday. And Shannon's like, I'm not making monthly payments to this fuck. And you shouldn't, by the way.
Full on extortion at this point.
It is. Let's call it what it is.
That's the funny thing is, I don't know if John is too dumb for this or Alexis is too dumb for this, but the moment you start bringing up the videos on top of the lawsuit,
Blackmail.
it becomes blackmail. You're idiots. You are fucking morons. No wonder this video never really came out, is because you realize, or somebody advised you, you can't do that. You're going to get in way more trouble. That would actually be really satisfying.
That'd
be a great day for me.
Oh my God, I would love
That'd be a
that.
great day for us.
See mugshots of those two
Oh,
dickheads.
dude, that would be
for fucking
incredible.
extortion.
God, and Alexis would probably post it and be like, Bonnie and Clyde, baby. Johnny and Clyde.
God damn it. That's so good. But the sad thing is, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, I know.
That would be the
Just
actual
imagine it in my head,
response.
yeah.
Oh, no. Well, after that, Tamara changes her tune. Shocking. And she's
You
like,
think that was genuine? I mean, I don't think anything
No.
is genuine. That seemed like maybe like 2%.
I think that.
There's a chance that she had an oh shit moment because she did realize how bad it was
Yeah.
when Alexis sued her the first time.
Yeah, well, that's what she
Who
said.
you're
She
now
goes,
friends with,
I remember
by
when
the way."
Alexis sued me. It's like, and you're fucking friends with her now, even though you said she's intolerable to be
Oh,
around.
man.
Maybe I'll give her a little credit there where it's like, maybe Shannon finally cracked through and was like, I'm fucking struggling, and yet I'm still trying, and you're trying to fuck me up. Stop, please. I've got much bigger things going on than you trying to
And I like
crucify
that
me.
Shannon didn't take this time to say, I need you as a friend right
No,
now.
she didn't.
I mean, she did the hug at the end, but look, I mean, Shannon can do whatever the hell she wants right now. She's really going through it. But she didn't say explicitly, I need you on my side. I need you to support me.
Right.
I think she realizes deep down, Tamara's not going to support you. She's only going to do things that are going to serve her. And you already do. And you already said that you had a good support system in place. So why fuck with that with Tamara?
I'm saying, man, just run. Get
Tamara
away
is
from
the
her.
wrench.
Get away from her. But let's get to some preguntas.
From Auntie_and_titties.
Pardon me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you spell that one for me, please?
ENTITTIES.
E-N?
ENTITTIES.
Entities?
And titties.
No.
There's only one T in entity. Well, there's a second one, but like it's not
no, it's
TT.
entities.
There's not two T's in a row in entity.
No, I understand that. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to pronounce it right.
And titties.
We've been stuck on this for too long. What's the question?
Do you think the hate that Alexis and John are going to get will be the end of them?
No, I think they thrive on it. I
They
think
probably
they
do.
have
But
spun
if
this.
Alexis isn't back next season,
Oh
that'll
yeah,
be the end of them.
I think that I don't know. They've spun this weird narrative in their own heads that they're the victims here, and that people resonate with. I don't know what it is. It's bizarre.
From Sheree Leg, RHOC is so overproduced. They play to camera and go for shock, almost unwatchable. I disagree.
I do too.
Maybe last year we would have agreed, but this
Yeah.
year seems pretty real.
Yeah, I mean, are there produced moments? There always are, but I don't think this is any more produced than other shows. I'd say lesser than.
Yeah. From Brian Scott Patterson, is Shannon being gaslit, or is this what goes on with being in the media?
Oh, she's being gaslit.
I think she's being gaslit
Yeah.
hard, right?
Being in-
Especially just straight by Tamara.
Yeah, being in the media doesn't constitute your friends, quote unquote, being shitty to you.
Yeah. From Valejandra Deeks, Which trip would you choose to be on, Big Bear or La
Quinta.
Quinta?
La Quinta. A million times La Quinta. I'd never go to that Big Bear trip. I would jump out the window.
From NoyFB0588. Was Alexis copying Ramona's crying pose? Yeah, that did look very similar.
It was very close. It was very close. Yeah. Let's just say yeah, because it was fake.
And we'll do one more here from SE Foster 430. Realistically, what are the odds that Alexis is back? Because if she is, I'll give up on Rosie.
I really don't think she's coming back again. I don't think.
It's hard. It's
she
really
would
hard
have
to
do
say.
a complete one. Look, there's still a lot of season
There's
left.
only 7 episodes in. So
Yeah, we got at least
we never know the
8
answer
or
to
9
this.
more. At least 8 or 9 more.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It could be
thinking.
10 more.
It seems to hover around like 15 episodes.
Yeah,
so.
that's usually where we're at. So she needs to do a complete 180 and find a new storyline. I don't see it happening. And the only saving grace, honestly, is if her and Shannon somehow come to some kind of agreement or compromise where that's no longer a thing.
If she can come to a compromise with Shannon and her storyline is no longer
Johnny
J, I'm not saying that I can put up with her antics on the side. I think that just goes a long way with her coming back.
Yes. Whether I
That's
don't
all
know.
she has to do, though.
But also, you could get rid of her and Katie, honestly.
Yeah, easily.
They're not really doing anything other than Johnny fucking J.
Correct. But, yeah, that's all we got over here.
Yeah, well. You got anything else?
Nope.
No, Brad Bro's out here.